And boop.
Hey,
Yay, Sarah.
hey, Frank. What's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm in such a good mood because I still have an hour left on the week of. I started watching it last night, fell asleep, but that movie makes me so happy. So I'm feeling real good.
That's good. That's good.
How are
Before
you?
we start,
Happy belated birthday. How was your birthday week?
thank you. It was good. It was good. I was just about to mention that. So the first things first, Whitney wanted me to say that she got me the shirt, and I have to say the phrase "Make America Graboid again." She wanted me to say that.
Love it.
It's from Tremors, her favorite movie, and she got me the shirt.
Yep.
And
Remember that one?
then Luke got me a Garfield
Oh, so cute.
because there's only two things in this world I love is peanuts and Garfield.
Love it.
So he got me a Garfield. Oh yeah, let me open the comments so make sure I don't miss anything. I did see someone just pop up in the viewers, but that's awesome. Yeah. Birthday was awesome. I did the live stream. That went over well, and I got some like great gifts. And it's a funny story before we really get started. But this Garfield has a funny story.
Let's hear it.
So I think like a week or two ago, I'm in Walmart and I'm scoping out I check the action figures and then I check the NECAs and then I go grocery shopping. So I go to the NECAs and I see Garfield, and I've been wanting to get a Garfield. And I'm like, nah, not today. So I put Garfield down because I've been thinking like, okay, there's going to be a Garfield movie, so there's going to be more Garfield merch. So I don't want to, blow my wad too soon and get a Garfield too early. So without telling anybody this was just me alone in the store. 2 weeks later, or a week later, because it was my birthday or the day before, my friend Luke's like, what's your address? I'm going to send you a gift. So yesterday I come home, I see the gift in the mail. I open it up and it's the same Garfield that I put down and didn't get. And I was like, I don't know how my friends know me so well, but they know me.
It was meant to be. You're meant to have that Garfield.
Yes, I'm meant to have this karate chopping Garfield.
Love it.
Yeah. But this week's exciting, Sarah. I just watched both these movies today.
Love it.
And I'm shocked that we picked the same movie.
I know. I was watching this. I'm like, if Adam Sandler were not a crazy gambler, didn't make any money, he would be Adam Sandler in the week of.
Like legitimately, it was crazy. I'm watching this movie and they're the same character. Instead of gambling, he wants to put everything on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And it gets increasingly worse as the movie goes. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, Sarah better love Uncut Gems because it's the same movie. I was shocked. And there's a lot of parallels. We got Billy Joel.
Yep.
And then there's a character, what do you call it? Adam Sandler's making a fake phone call.
Yep.
Where he's like, yes, that's right. Yep. Right. Yep. And meanwhile, both movies. And then at the end of both movies, the character that's been like the antagonist finally understands, but it's like too late. Yep. And we'll get to that. Who do you want to start? You want to go first or should I go first?
Let's go Uncut Gems and then we go.
Okay, so I'll explain Uncut Gems. So Uncut Gems came out in December, like Christmas of 2019. I remember it well because that year it was like the Last Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker, whatever the hell that last Star Wars movie was, and it was Uncut Gems. And I was so excited about Uncut Gems because it was like A24. It was Adam Sandler being a dramatic role again, because he really doesn't do that. He usually does those Netflix movies like the week of. And, he's not, I think he's scared of doing that because I think he knows he's too good. Because he's like, whatever the handful of, dramas he's done, he's too good. So when I went to see this on opening night, it was so incredible watching the movie. And then like the whole movie, my heart's pounding because it tells a story about Howard, who's this gambler. He's an obsessive gambler and he keeps making bad decisions. And the whole movie, things amplify because things keep getting worse and he keeps digging himself deeper. Like there's so many moments where he could come out of it clean, but he chooses that it's like that strive to keep, fighting for that. It's like that urge, that taste of danger he's always feeling. And you know, it's like that for the whole movie, and it all builds up to the dramatic like last half hour when like something happens and he's like, I'm going to take full advantage of this, and you don't know how it's going to end. And without spoiling anything, I remember when the end credits started, my heart was pounding. I felt like I was in danger. I felt like nobody was safe. I didn't feel safe myself, and it was like one of the best theatrical experiences. And I love this movie so much. I bought the Blu-ray when it first came out, and then Criterion, like I think last year, released the 4K, and I'm like, I got to get the 4K because I love this movie so much because there's so much. And I haven't seen it since the theater, so it's so funny. I have both these movies. I haven't seen it, so I watched it today, and I felt like all the same feelings. And I noticed some different things about this, but it was so good. And Sarah, I can't wait to hear what you say because I should also say before I hand it off to you, the reason why I picked this movie for this week is because after Holiday, I'm like, okay, Sarah likes movies where characters are kind of like terrible people with a heart of gold, and they keep amplifying worse things and worse things, because it happens with Bridesmaids, it happens with Holiday, and it happened with The Week Of. I'm like, oh my god, she will fucking love Uncut Gems. So take it away, Sarah.
Oh my gosh. So it was an experience. So just to like set the scene, I had to go every year for my job. I go to Vegas for a week, which anybody who's been to Vegas knows very well that like 2 days in Vegas is like a week in Vegas is like 5 months. So I spend a week there every January. And this year I caught the plague. I got COVID on my last couple days there. So I was sequestered to my suite in the Venetian, which there's worse places to be sick. But my TV had Netflix on it. And I'm like, this is it. Like, if there's ever time to watch a movie, which I didn't know at the time, but like about like a gambling addict, like it's in Vegas. We're doing it. It's happening. So first off, like, I love when Adam Sandler is in movies and he like really augments his like Long Island, New York accent. Like it just makes me giggle so much because he always has it. But then when he like really has it, it's just like, it's so spot on.
Yes.
And okay, throughout the movie, my anxiety level was like at an 11 out of 50, like 11 out of 10, the entire duration of the movie. Like I was panicking the whole time. And like, it was so interesting because there was so much. It's fascinating to look at these two movies together because in both movies, like conflict is kind of the central theme. Like there's a lot of conflict, right?
Yes.
But in Uncut Gems, like the conflict made me so like viscerally, like I couldn't breathe. I was so anxious. I'm just like, oh my God, all they do is yell at each other. They're yelling at each other. They're still yelling at each other. What's going to happen? And like every minute you're just like, this guy's gonna get himself killed. Like, and it's just like, it's so interesting because what's his name in this movie?
Howie. I forget the last name, but his first name's Howie.
Howie in the movie is so. It's just like it's never enough. It's like it takes you on this journey because you're like, oh, he finally got the money back. He can pay him off, and then he's like, no, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna bet even more, and you're just like, no. Like, can you just pay these guys and like move on with your life and just like, please. So yeah, the conflict, I think that's like that was the most jarring part of the movie to me, was just how much conflict there was. And like, it wasn't funny conflict. It was like serious, like this guy, it's kind of like this. It's funny you say that, like similar to Bridesmaids, Holiday, like The Week Of, like the characters, like at this, you kind of just start at like this penultimate like spiral downward, right? Like,
yes.
It begins at like the demise of his life, right? So fascinating.
Both movies were like this.
So many movies that I like are like this. I wonder what that means about my life, but
I don't know. Because like honestly, Sarah, I was watching this movie, I was like, holy shit, like your movie. I know we'll get to it, but like I was like, oh my God, if this was shot dramatically like Uncut Gems and actually had that heart racing music, it would be the same fucking movie and just have the same characters. Because in your movie, everybody's talking. Everyone's talking. The whole family's talking the whole time.
Yelling upstairs. Yeah.
And it's even amplified in Uncut Gems because I remember watching in the theater, which gave me like heart palpitations. It's just how they edit it. usually in movies they cut on the end of a sentence, but this one, like, they're overlapping and there's sounds going off, the doors going off, the buzzer, cell phones are ringing, and there's someone's talking, and like there's someone at the door, and there's someone in the hallway, and there's someone in his office. It's like he has to deal with like 3 different people all at the same time. Like there's someone on the phone, there's someone in the hallway, he has to deal with Julia, he has to deal with the guys like you haven't called or returned my text.
With the dealer, and then
oh my god, where the hell's my watches? Where's my watches? And then he's got to deal with the fucking fish tank, and then the door is locked, and they got to put the shavings in there. Oh my god! Like honestly, like if you were to film this like his comedies, it would be a comedy because like all the characters, like the 2 twins, where's our money, Howie? And he's like, "What you do? Bring your fucking heavy with you?" And it's like they're like little schlubby guys. It's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, I love this movie.
So, and then you have like he had the same amount of kids in both movies, right? The 3.
Yes,
3,
yeah.
That was interesting, and it's just so. I don't know if Adam Sandler could do a movie where he's not a dad. First of all, like every movie he's a different dad, or like usually plays the same dad. But I thought that was interesting. This is the first serious Adam Sandler movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, really? Okay. Yep.
Yeah, which by the way, I'm really excited about that one I sent you. He has a new one coming on Netflix around space themed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that should be good because it's dramatic for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. But I thought that the parent, it was so interesting, like this whole dynamic with the woman he's cheating with, Julia, and then like his wife. And it's like, it's classic. Like the instant he finds out that she's just, a young 20-something, whatever. He's like, "Oh, Indina Menza, please love me again. Like, we can be a family." And she's like, "Fuck you, dude. I'm so done with you."
Yeah, because she's done this before. Because like he does that with everybody. Because like whenever he's trying to sell something, he puts on like the sing-songy voice, like, look at this opal here, and like he could sell fucking ice to an Eskimo. So when he tries to do that to the wife, she already knows this game, and she's like, "No, we're not doing this.
Done.
Yeah, I'm done with you because you're a mess. I'm tired of this." But it's kind of sad at the end because even the wife has that little bit of care for her. Because the thing about this movie, it's all about him. He's the uncut gem. Yeah. And like there's like a scene earlier in the movie when he's looking at the opal and he doesn't see anything. But Kevin Garnett looks at the opal and he sees it. So but that's the reason why Howie can't see it, because he's his own opal. He's his own luck. He's his own.
He has like all the colors, like
all the colors. Yeah. Because he's doing that throughout the whole movie. Let me go through my notes here because I did write some notes for my movies. Let's see. Yeah, the black opal actually means like luck and stress, and I feel like that's what Howard does. And then like let's see, the danger comes through jest in the movie. Whenever he's like messing around, the danger follows with it. Like there's a great scene where he's at his daughter's recital, and the little son, pokes his shoulder, and he says, "What's going on here?" And he looks over his shoulder, and it's all fun, right? Family fun, but he looks over his shoulder, and he sees the guys chasing him, which brings the danger, and that's what this whole movie is about. It's like little moments of fun, and then the danger's always following him, and at some point through this movie, it's going to catch up with him. Oh my gosh. What else? Let's see. I like how everything in this movie, you think you know what it is, but later on it's revealed it's not quite what it is. Because with Arno, his brother-in-law, the guy he owes money to.
So plot twist that he's even his brother-in-law.
Yeah, because like information is handed out through the whole movie because you're wondering who these guys are. And you find out he doesn't owe money to them. They're just the collectors. And you want to find out who Arno is. And then the first time you see Arno, it's like menacingly. He can't hear him. He's in the car. He's in the dark. He's yelling at him. And then later you find out he's his brother-in-law. And like they don't understand each other. And you think Arno's the threat. But it turns out the collectors are the threat. And the sad thing about Arno, which I love, because we, the viewer, we've seen Howard through this whole movie. We kind of are... We sort of understand him at this point. Everyone else is trying to catch up, the characters in the movie. But like we see the heart of gold in this terrible, terrible man. And at the end, right before, okay, full spoilers for people who are not watching this, but like Arno finally gets Howard's magic. He sees how Howie is special. He finally gets it, but it's way too fucking late because the guys go in there fucking shoot Howie in the eye.
And Arno,
And
I was really devastated about
Arno. Because Arno finally understood. He
Yeah.
finally got it. He's like, what are you doing? We have the money. And then they fucking shoot Arno. Oh my God. And it's so sad. And then like everyone's like left in limbo, and it's like it doesn't wrap up, because you're wondering what's going to happen to the family, what's going to happen to Julia, and what's going to happen to his his father-in-law, the one who owes money to. Oh my God, like there's so many like loose ends that are still out there, and it's like, oh my God, poor Howie, and you're rooting for him. You want him to win because you start seeing through his vision, because the whole movie you're like, no, Howie, what are you doing? No, Howie. But at the end, when he finally wins, you're like, come on, Howie, get through this.
I'll be honest, I wasn't rooting for Howie. I was like,
you weren't rooting for Howie?
I wasn't. I couldn't stand him. I was like, oh, just get your shit together, bro. Like, go to like Gamblers Anonymous. Like, you have a beautiful family. Like, come on.
I was rooting for him in the last half hour.
Take
I
the
wanted
money
him to
and
win.
leave. Like, you have the money. Go pay it off.
When he's talking to Garnett, what do you want to do? You want to win by 5 or you want to win by 60? Come on, this is how I win.
It's like he like believes his own delusions. Like
yes.
He really, really like with conviction. I think that was something else interesting about his character is it's like he's in this delusions of grandeur world. Like he's just in his own world, and he thinks like he's like talking to Garnett, and he's like, oh, well, if I put the idea in his mind, he's gonna win, right? And I'm gonna go make a bet on it. And then like I love that. I think that might be my favorite part where he's on the phone with them, and they're like, or they're not on the phone, they're trying to come get him, and he's like, hold on. He like sticks his head out the window and like gives the bet to the ground. I'm like, are you serious? Like the mob is in your shop. Like they are there to kill you or get your money, and you're making a bet with that money right now.
And he could wrap it up even then. Like he's not even at the airport, and he could make the phone call, but he's like, no, I can't do this.
I'm just like, oh, that was a part where I'm just like, I'm done with this guy. Like this guy's like, come on. You have money, you won.
Oh, that's even devastating. Earlier in the movie, you think he won all that money, and then
they didn't place the bet.
Yeah, they then placed the bet. They canceled the bet, and he's like, no, what did you do? Oh,
it's also like impressive the amount of times he like won so much and like immediately lost it.
Exactly. Oh my God, like every single time. Oh,
the part that was interesting. So I was a little curious about the very beginning. I don't know if you remember, like right at the beginning, they're obviously
Ethiopia.
In Ethiopia. But like, what was the purpose of the guy whose leg got like cut? Remember, they're carrying the injured guy, and there was no connection.
I feel with that, it's sort of showing that danger and violence follow this opal.
Okay.
Yes. No matter how far you get ahead, you're still gonna get hurt or something. Yeah. That's how I see it. Yeah.
It's like a curse, like it follows you. Because like it seems like the opals were part of their like religious ceremonies and things too.
It's sort of like, I don't know if there's a connection, or maybe it's an homage. I haven't heard the director say it, but it reminded me of like The Exorcist, because in the beginning of The Exorcist, they're in the, what do you call it, like Africa or something, digging, and it's revealed that Pazuzu is there. Pazuzu is awakened, and then it cuts to completely different with the little girl in Washington D.C. who gets possessed, and it's similar thing, because here it opens up in Ethiopia 2010, and like there's this broken leg, and there's like the violence and all these people, and they go sneak in there and they get that opal and they find it, and then it leads to the whole story, which I feel like, oh my God, it's like amazing to me.
And also just like giggling at the fact that like the whole movie is like, it's at least 600 carats, like this is at least and then it's like 150,000.
Oh my God. Oh, did you there's a cameo, unlisted cameo as the voice on the phone. Do you know who it is? Could you take a guess right now? Tilda Swinton.
Who's that?
She's like the evil queen from Narnia, and I think she was in Lord of the Rings. Yep. She's the one who's like, here, take the ring, and she goes all evil and says, no, I can't take the ring. She's like the elf woman. Yep, that's her, Tilda Swinton. Wait, or is that Kate Blanchett? Anyway, either way, You know her. You've seen her movies. Tilda Swinton's awesome. She's in a lot of movies. Even though I can't think of any other. I know she's in Vanilla Sky, but I don't think you saw
She's in
Vanilla Sky.
Narnia. She's in Doctor Strange.
Oh my god, that's right. She's in Doctor Strange. That's like one of my favorite
Killers.
characters. Yep.
We get our movies right now. Yeah, no, I did not catch that.
Yeah, she's just like a little voice cameo. I was like, oh my god. Oh yeah, she's in all the Wes Anderson movies. That's right.
Yes.
That's
so
right.
What do you think made Adam Sandler want to do this movie?
Oh my gosh, a lot of convincing from those Safdie brothers. Oh my god. They wrote the movie for him 10 years earlier.
Really?
And they kept handing the script over, and it was his manager, Adam Sandler's manager's like, there's no way he's going to do this movie. And he kept like keeping the script away. They almost made the movie with Jonah Hill as Howie. I know, right? That would be so weird.
Yeah.
It's so wrong because they wrote this movie specifically for Adam, and somehow Adam finally got the script, and he was like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. You know, his Adam Sandlerisms. And then he finally read, he says, okay, I like your movie, Good Times. I'll do this movie for you guys. And I think, oh my gosh, I think he'd made the right choice.
I could not, first of all, Jonah Hill is way too young for this movie. Not the right person for this movie. But no, I feel like Adam Sandler is the only person I could really see pulling off that character so well. It's just like chaos, just complete chaos.
Controlled chaos, or you know. Because like it's a movie, but it feels real. Every situation feels real.
I think that's what made me so uncomfortable. And I know that was like the purpose of this movie was to make you uncomfortable, and it did it. Because it doesn't feel like a movie. It felt like I was in that jewelry store where all this. I think that's why I was so anxious, because I'm like, if I walked into a jewelry store and this was happening, I would freeze. I would just be like, I don't know what to do with all of this. Hey, Luke.
I just seen him pop up. Yep, Luke's the one who gave me my Garfield.
Love the Garfield.
Yes. Hello, Luke. And let's see. Full Metal. Hello, Full Metal. She's probably gone already. Hello.
The kitty.
And then, hello, Whitney. Hello. And Jessica. Hello, Jessica. Yes, but yeah, oh my God, the whole movie is like it's too real. And I think it's because they actually hired like real people from that district. Like the guy he's trying to, like the pawn shop owner who recently passed away like last year, RIP. But like, when he gives him the ring, that guy's a real dealer. And then the guy with the tan with the fake teeth at the casino at the end, that's a real gambler. And so is the guy Julia's talking to, because he's like, what'd you do? What you bet on? You bet on that? Yeah, you got 16. That dude is like a famous gambler. So those are real people.
It felt real.
Yeah. And it just reminded me of like the Adam Sandler movies, because like in that movie, I think a lot of those are like either family members or people he knows personally.
Yes. Adam Sandler has his like groupies,
his
that
clique.
He does all of his movies with.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's so weird that both movies are so similar. I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, this movie.
The end was a super plot twist for me too, because I'm like, with Julia with the money, I'm like, does he kill? I thought at first, I'm like, oh my God, he killed her, took the money, and then like when he's walking out, and you're like, oh my God,
with a suitcase. Yep. Did he kill her?
Money. Then he actually gives it to her, and I'm like, what? Like, but then do we ever find out what happens to the money? Does she just take it and run? Like,
it's just left in the air, and it's most likely that the mobsters, those collectors, will take them out because of all the crap they've gone through.
Yeah.
Especially being locked in that room for probably 6 hours or whatever. Yeah, because those games go on for a long time.
Like, what did Howie think was gonna happen? Like, they were gonna open the door and cheer him? Like,
I think he did, because I think Howie sees the best in people, or wants to see the best in people. I think he's over trusting. He wants to be liked.
Well,
that's the whole thing.
I think that when he gave Kevin Garnett the opal, I was like, I was shook. I'm like, you're just gonna let him take the opal? Like, I mean, I get he got the ring in exchange, and then does he ever get the ring back?
He got the ring back. He gives it to Garnett right when he gives him the opal, and right when he says, look at all these bets here, that's when he gives him the ring back.
Also, every time I hear Kevin Garnett, I just can't. I think there was a show I watched that was based in Boston, and you just hear Garnett, Kevin Garnett. Like,
Garnett.
What movie was it? It was The Heat. Kevin Garnett.
Oh my gosh. But he was pretty good in this movie, even though he's like a sports star. He did pretty decent job.
He's tall.
Yes. Because when he's in that store, like he's taller than everybody in there.
I was like, fascinating camera angles for this. Because like he's like a foot taller than every person in this movie.
I think that's why he's always leaning. He's always leaning on the table.
Leaning
oh
on
my
the
gosh.
table, it just cracks. I told you not to lean on it.
Oh yeah, I like how he's like, I told you not to lean. Like his hand motions, Adam Sandler, he's just like, oh my god, it's perfect.
And my other favorite character is just like no lines, just the guy who sits in the back, like the jeweler. Like he's just,
oh my god,
he's just like in the middle of all this chaos. Like there's so much happening, and he's just like, I'm making jewelry. Like
the unsung hero of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that is a fun fact. Let's see. Going through the cast and finding out Palm Clementeff is apparently in this. Now I got to rewatch it. I didn't even see her. I watched it again. I didn't notice her. Palm Clementeff is the girl who plays Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
She had a bigger role in this, but was cut. So I think she's just in the background. I haven't seen her in this.
I'm looking up a picture of her.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I don't remember seeing her in the movie.
Let's see. What's the other thing I want to say? Oh, that's the other thing I want to say. What I love about this movie is if you're on Twitter or cinema Twitter, I should say, like almost every goddamn line in this is like an iconic like meme or something. Like the one where it says, holy shit, I'm gonna come, or this is how I win, or like that's history you're looking at, you understand? And then what was the other one he says? Oh god. Oh man, oh yeah. Why the fuck would you show me that and not give it to me? You know, that line.
What the fuck?
Why the fuck would you show that to me and not give me it? Oh my god, that's like one of the best lines. And then one of mine I want to use now after rewatching it is like, oh yeah, you were upset, huh? You bought a fucking smoothie? That cracked me up. She's like, I'm devastated, I'm hurt. And she's like all
smoothie in her face.
She's all done up and has this smoothie. Yeah, you were real emotional. You had to stop with a fucking smoothie.
Oh my god. And then like immediately 5 minutes later, he's like, go place a bet for me.
Go place a bet for me. I know. And then not only that, but like she's even stupid too, because she's like, yeah, pull down my zipper. Oh, that's right. He's like, I'm so fucking sad. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Is this about me? And it has nothing to do with her. And then he makes you feel guilty because he says, it was, you did such a bad thing to me. And
then she gets this name tattoo. They're perfect for each other. They're perfect for each other. They were made for each other.
Yes, he's like, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Oh my god, they're perfect for each other. Oh, they just feed into each other.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna cry just laughing at this movie. Oh. Anyway, I really like it, and like I feel like after watching your movie, which we'll get to, because we got to do our little rating system. But like, man, if a Week Of had like a driving score and was shot differently, holy hell, it would be like way too similar, like crazily similar with the escalation of problems and situations that happen. Oh my gosh.
It's just so much more funny. Like no anxiety in the Week Of, just laughing the whole time.
Oh, and not only that, but like another similarity is that they both characters break down and say that they're sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm so fucked up, and then the other one's like, man, I'm so fucked up. I made it all about
crying
me.
The hotel's on fire and just crying by the pool.
He's like, I'm so fucking mad. Oh.
So what's your favorite scene?
Oh my gosh, my favorite scene? Oh, I think it has to be those twins. It always makes me laugh because they look like they're from another movie. They're too real. Where he says, Howie, you got my money? And he says, who told you I was here? No one in my office would tell you where I was. And he says, what you do? Bring your fucking heavy? Here, take my Rolex watch. What am I going to do with this watch? And then he gets to the car and the guy's like, what am I going to do with this watch? He's like, stop, I don't want to buy your watch. He says, I didn't buy this watch. You gave me this watch. And they're like, well, fuck off. It's so funny. That's like, I think that's my favorite scene. But like, oh my God, like anytime like Howie, I don't know, like whenever Howie's in his like own like, you know, like delusion, like he like shuts off the world somehow. I don't know how he does it because there's like the bell ringing, the machine going off, somebody complaining, Julie at the door, someone outside the door, the phone ringing, but somehow like he shuts it all off and is like in his own world. I don't know how he does it. Yeah.
I would be far more successful in life if I could focus the way that man focuses in the midst of chaos.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. So what's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is definitely like they're fighting, they hate each other, like he's losing it all, and then like text to Kevin Garnett, he's like hanging out go to the other office. She goes, go place a bet for me, like passing it over, and I'm just like, what? Like I love that scene. I was like, what are you doing, bro?
And this, like it's so sad because like I think she believes in him as much as he believes in himself.
Yes, they're made for each other. They really are.
So my Rosenbaum, of course, because I own 2 copies and I've seen. I love this movie. I think I'm going to give it a solid 3 Rosenbaum because it's like it's one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. It's one of my. I wish it was in my top 100, but there's a lot of movies that didn't make my top 100. But it would probably be close to it. It would at least make it in the 150 range. My favorite 150. Yeah.
All right, I love it. I think I will give it. I'm going to give it a neutral.
Okay. Here, right down the middle. Yeah.
Right down the middle, because I already have so much anxiety just in general. Like watching a movie that gives me more anxiety. Granted, I would give it another chance because I watched it in Vegas where I'm already really anxious to begin with.
Yeah, because you're sick, you're in Vegas, you're away from home.
Yeah.
You don't have your pets near you. Unless you took the pets.
No,
and then you're watching this.
Like if my dog was with me, this would be better.
So you have like all this anxiety. You're sick in a different town without your pets, and you're watching Uncut Gems.
And I have not seen sunlight or drank water. I actually drink a lot of water, but I haven't eaten a vegetable in like 5 days. Like it was just like so much anxiety. But it was still. It's not like bad, but it was just like I don't want to have as much anxiety when I watch a movie. But I did enjoy Adam Sandler's like dramatic performance. Really like that.
Yes, true, very true. Let's go to the comments. I see somebody's favorite scene. Love the scene where he has to go to his apartment after the dinner party and the stereo's on. It feels like you don't know what's going to happen next. I know you think that maybe Julia already got attacked by the collectors because the radio is on left by itself. And I think he's trying to protect his kids because he doesn't know what to expect, but the kid has to go pee. And there's an unexpected cameo by John Almos from Good Times. Yep. He lives down the hallway. Oh my gosh. But yes, I agree, Shane Ford. And then what here? Ranked above or below Punch Drunk Love. I've only seen parts of Punch Drunk Love. I have not seen the whole thing. But that's the other dramatic role where I know he's really good. But I've only seen parts of it. I can't. But I would say Uncut Gems over it. Uncut Gems.
Like I'm all about it. Three roses.
3 roses. Okay, Sarah.
All right.
It's your turn.
All right. So if anybody ever wanted to know, if there was ever one piece of art, a movie that is the exact epitome of my humor, it's this movie. I realized that as I was watching it for like the 10th time last night. So basically, the week of is the story of a Long Island dad who's not very successful. He has like a contracting company that does work for like motels and like gold gyms. And his daughter is getting married very young. She's 23. She's in dental school and she's getting married to a 23-year-old guy in medical school. And it's just so funny. Like the whole movie is set like the week of the wedding. So it starts on Monday, right? The wedding's on Saturday, or it starts on Sunday or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's just like every day it's this escalation of like more people show up for the wedding and more chaos ensues and like things are going on. And there's an interesting rivalry between Kevin Hart and Adam Sandler. The main Kevin Hart.
Oh, Chris Rock.
The Chris Rock. Oh, I always get those two mixed up. Chris Rock is the son's father, right? And he's like a really successful heart surgeon in LA, like tons of money, but also like playboy. And then you have Adam Sandler, who's, doesn't have a lot of money, but he is committed to doing everything by himself, like accepts absolutely no help. And like,
oh my gosh,
yeah. Anyways, I guess that.
Yeah.
And then throughout the week, it's like just this journey of like chaos, more chaos, and like Adam Sandler just being like, I can handle this, and then somehow finding a way to handle it, but then it still falls apart, but then it doesn't.
It's like Uncut Gems, really.
Yes, exactly.
Because he's just accepting everything, and he's like, "Yeah, I can do that."
We're just going with it. We're just going. There's a leak in this room. It's fine. Like, oh, we don't have a venue for the wedding. Let's just jump in with the mayor. Like,
yes, you can stay at our house. Yes, you can stay at our house. Oh my gosh.
By the end of the movie, you've accumulated like all of these characters, and they're all staying in his like tiny little 2-bedroom Long Island house with asbestos in it. And the whole movie comes to a head on the day of the wedding when like the major chaos ensues. Like nothing is the way it's supposed to be. There's a leak in the venue, and like the venue sets on fire, and then the best part is at the ending, spoiler, like they all just end up in the backyard of the house where the whole movie is taking place for the wedding. And I love, like, this movie just brings me so much joy because it's like the conflict is humorous, right? Like there's all these scenes where like Adam Sandler and his wife, who is from SNL, Debbie Downer, are just like fighting, like screaming at each other, and then it just pans to like the living room where like business as usual, like nobody's like reacting to like this huge argument. They're just like, are they gonna get divorced? No, they never do, right? And all the chaos and just yeah. Anyways, I could talk forever, so I'll turn it over to you. I'm super. I was watching it.
Talk about it all.
So excited to hear what I was like imagining watching this with you and hearing you giggle. So I want to hear what you thought of it.
Well, right away, I was watching this movie and I was like, oh my God, Sarah likes these kind of movies.
I do.
Because I'm like, he is very, like, everything is stressful. Like everything is like even like in the first like couple of minutes, like he's having a business meeting. His uncle's in the back seat. The uncle has to go to the bathroom. I'm like, there's the Sarah part. He's got to go to the poop. He's got to go pee. So they go to the restaurant, and for some reason, the business partner doesn't stay in the car. The business partner doesn't just sit at the counter and get a drink. He waits in the bathroom with them, and I was like, why? Why would you do that?
It's a shitter. I can give you 2 minutes.
I can give you 2 minutes. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh, and that was very weird. Like there's like this shot in the beginning of the movie where it just stays on it for like a minute. But like it's the living room and the kids are in there and they're just watching Grapes of Wrath. And I was like, what is this? What's going on? What did Sarah recommend me? What's going on? What's happening? Oh my God. And the part that like got my first laugh, because I had to write it down, my first laugh was like Steve Buscemi when he's on the phone and he's in his underwear trying to like slow motion, like softcore porn on his TV. And he says, I'm at work. Oh, it was Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, like for those folks at home, it's a scene where somebody has like a hot dog or like food and they're slowly putting it in like the girl's mouth. And apparently it's from Game of Thrones. I was watching it. I was like, this is like, because he's on his phone, like, no, I'm busy. I'm at work. I am so, little. And he's just like going slow-mo on it. That cracked me up.
Really quick, the part there, I noticed something new in that scene when I watched it this time that made me crack up so much. So the reason that Adam Sandler is calling Steve Buscemi is because Uncle Seymour has no legs. He's Steve's dad, and he just sent him to Adam Sandler like 5 days before the wedding and didn't send him with any clothes or anything, any direct instructions. And Adam Sandler's like, "What the fuck, dude?" And the funniest thing is, on the couch next to Steve Buscemi is his artificial legs, his prosthetics.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice.
I never saw that before until I watched it last night, and I was cracking up so much because I'm like, he didn't even send him with his prosthetic legs. They're on the couch next to him.
He could have like put them on him, but he didn't want to deal with the hassle.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And I was like, oh my God, that's such an Adam Sandler thing because they're just carrying this old man around. But like the other gag that cracked me up was like whenever they were near him, they would pull the cord and like something would drop on his head.
Yeah, on his head every time.
The part that fucking killed me was like when Chris Rock is having this dream and he starts rubbing the nubs, and then he's like, ah, and then he pulls the cord, and the water dumps off. I had to rewind it because I was laughing so hard because the water's just nobody woke up too because the whole room is full of people. There's like 3 people sitting straight up on the couch sleeping. There's like 2 people on the floor. The whole house is full of people. That cracked me up. Oh my gosh.
And the dog's barking, the German Shepherd.
Yes. Oh my God. I even wrote it here. Holy shit, if you film this like Uncut Gems, it would be a drama. I wrote that down here. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's no music. I found that interesting.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's kind of filmed like The Office. I was noticing like a lot of
it
the
felt
shots.
like no offense, but it's a funny movie. I'll say this, but like no offense, but it looks like they filmed it over a weekend. Like we have 48 hours to film a movie. Let's film a movie. We got these people. I know these people. We have a house. We have this hotel we could film at. Let's film a movie. Let's do this. Let's get this done. And it feels like that because like there's like scenes where it just feels like it's handheld, like in the house, like it's almost like shot like cops or something. I was like, oh my God.
Yep. Well, I feel like they used an actual like Long Island house. Like there was no room.
It was way too cramped. Yeah, that was a real house because
you could feel it. Like you could feel how packed that house was.
That was not a set. If it was a set, I'm shocked because that felt like a tiny, tiny house. And oh God, that was another joke I loved. It paid off at the end, more so. So the other side of the family is African American. So when Adam Sandler wakes up the next day, he sees these 2 guys walking up the house.
That's my favorite part of the movie.
He thinks they're the family, and he invites them inside the house. And the family looks at them and says, "We have no idea who these guys are." And he says, "Well, eat the breakfast." And then the thing that pays off at the end of the fucking movie is Chris Rock has turned over a new leaf, and he's like, I want to be a family man because I've seen what Adam Sandler does. He's such a better father than me, and I want to be like that. This is my new beginning, and he starts being nice to the family, and he thinks those 2 guys are his family, and they look at him, and they don't understand, and they're just like, just go with it. So those 2 passerbyers are now part of the family at this point.
I was paying attention because I was like, are they part of because they were at the wedding and they were in the breakfast, but I think they actually just became part of the whole week. Like I was watching, they were at the baseball game. Like they were at the
baseball game. That killed me. That part fucking killed me because that was even like that felt like a crazy, like out of this world body experience, like Uncut Gems.
The kids just crying.
I could see Howie at the store. Yes. And then saying like, what's wrong, buddy? What's wrong? And then it says, oh shit, we gotta go to the game. And then he brings the entire family, and everyone thinks the grandfather is a Vietnam. Oh no, World War II vet. Oh my God, and it's just crazy, and it just escalates because everyone in the crowd is cheering for the kid, and he's just crying his eyes out.
He's like, I hate baseball. And just like,
I hate baseball. I don't want to be here, but I wanted to be here. And then he gets on base, which is even funnier. And then like there's like a little moment that I was like, oh shit, that's some old school Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore shit. Is where like when he gets to base, but a kid gets horribly hurt in the process. That kid got so hurt, but everyone's cheering.
And then the guy's like, hold on, goes over and thank you for your service, the coach.
That is some like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison shit. It cracks me up. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh my God, Sarah. There was like a weird jump cut edit. I was like, oh my God, they didn't have a take or another angle. And it just tells me, like, oh my God, they must have shot this on a shoestring budget if they didn't have a different angle to cut through. Because there's an actual hard cut, jump cut, Sarah.
I missed it. What was it?
So it's a scene where Adam's driving Chris Rock from the airport, and he talks about the AC, and they go on forever about the AC.
Just
Sarah,
if you want it.
There is a legit jump cut in that scene, and it's not a time going by. It's literally they didn't have anything to cut to, and there's a jump cut in that scene just to wrap it up because I'm guessing there was more improv and they needed to end. So like I think shortly before that scene ends, because it's only that one camera angle, there's a jump cut. So if you watch this for your 11th time, look for that jump cut.
I'm gonna look for it. I might rewind it and look for it.
Let's see. Oh my God, the pistachio tribe, or the pistachio tribe. The old lady's like, the pistachio tribe. I forgot what the hell she says. I wrote it down here, but she says that I think they're playing games. And she says, "Oh yeah, the pistachio tribe." I was like, "Holy shit, that's hilarious!" Because she's like, "Yeah, it's like the Native Americans, the
Oh my
pistachio
God,
tribe."
I missed
I'm like,
that.
"That's hilarious." And then, oh my God, the Robert Smigel. So Robert Smigel is this famous comedian writer. He's the one who directed this movie. He has a cameo. He plays the doctor who says, "You should talk to your father. He only has so much time left." Oh yeah, I know.
I
I know
love
it's Kool-Aid. I know it's Kool-Aid because I tasted it. I was like, oh my God, that's so gross, but I love it. Oh my God, let's see. Oh yeah, and they're like, you should say goodbye to your father. Have some alone time with him. Why? I've been alone with him for years. That cracked me up because I had like a real life moment like that, Sarah. Oh my God. So before Christmas, I think it was like November or something, I'm at work and someone says, "Oh, are you going to get your mom anything for Christmas?" And I'm like, "Why? She has everything. I give her everything every day. Why would I give her a Christmas present?" I had a similar situation with this because they're like, "You should say goodbye to your father. There's not much left." I'm like, "Why would I want alone time with my father? I've been alone with him for years." Holy shit.
The whole like storyline of Seymour is my favorite storyline, like my favorite character arc of this movie.
Seymour has like the best last week of his life.
Oh my God, this guy, the bachelor party scene is unhinged. The first time I watched this movie, I was on the floor sobbing, laughing so hard when he ends up dying because he went to the bachelor party and he's just like this dirty old man. And then they all realize it and they're like, "Oh, he has diabetes," and they're like, and everybody just knows that he didn't lose his legs in
Like
the
the
war.
World War. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Diabetes.
That cracked me so. Oh my God, where he never really went to war, but he was in the military during World War II. I was like, oh my God, that's so much. Oh my God, I could relate. And then and then they dunk his head in the fruit punch, and he's with all these like bimbos. And then like there's like there's all these sexy strippers, and then there's the suicidal kid who got out of rehab, and like, no, this is a trigger. Turn off the music. Keep dancing. And it's like all these bimbos are just dancing with no music on a trampoline shop. And meanwhile, there's like a 12-year-old kid there.
And then the next scene is like, we made the right choice. We made, like, they send him in the Uber. We made the right choice.
We made the right choice. Yeah, but
I also love that, like, much like Melissa McCarthy, like Adam Sandler's wife's in so many of his movies. So in this movie, it's his sister-in-law.
Yeah, so that was weird.
But what I was just looking at the movie before we started, and what I learned is the neighbor's kid, the one who's still in love with the daughter, is Adam Sandler's nephew.
That makes sense. It's a family affair with this movie. I assume like whenever I see Adam Sandler movies, I know that he's keeping his SNL buddies employed, which I give him credit for because that's so nice because a lot of them don't work and he keeps them working.
For sure.
Rachel Dratch and Chris Rock.
Her.
David Spade in some of his movies, like he keeps them employed. Rob Schneider.
Buscemi is he's in a lot of Adam Sandler's movies.
He's in a lot of his movies, and I think he's another one who Adam Sandler saved. Yeah, because I think when he was starting out, Steve Buscemi didn't get that many roles, but Adam always hired him. So like for the rest of his life, whenever Adam calls Steve's like, I'm there. I'll be in your movie because like I think they're buddies. They're like real. Oh yeah, that's right. I think they met on Airheads.
Oh, yep.
Or the one where they take over the radio station. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. I think they became buddies on that, like lifelong buddies. They're like, you're my friend. You're my friend for life.
So I was just watching it. I was cracking up so hard at the hotel owner who's just always laughing.
Yes.
So the scene, I don't know if you noticed this, but the scene where they're like all the workers are in the other dad's room and they're fixing it, and then they turn on the hot water and he burns his hands again. Adam Sandler was laughing so hard during delivering those, like he was like supposed to be angry at the hotel owner, and the hotel owner
I didn't even catch that.
When he's talking, like he looks angry, but if you look at his eyes, like his crow's feet, like you can tell he's laughing, and then like the hotel owner is also like giggling, and they could not be together for that scene. It was
holy shit, you're right. I remember that because I think like the audio is angry. Like I think he redubbed it because I think they're both clearly laughing. You're
Cracking
right.
up.
You're absolutely right.
So hard.
Because it's some like Abbott, like if you were to put that in black and white, it's some fucking like Three Stooges shit. Because it's like, no, turn the cold water on. No, turn the hot water on. And like it's so funny though, because like the audio, he's angry, but if you look at him, he is smiling. So they must have redid that and like just redub it.
Like the hotel owner is also, they're both looking at each other laughing. They cannot keep it together, which I love. Like my favorite SNL skits are the ones where they crack up and I love when you break character. It's just so funny. And then the other part of this movie that brings me a ton of joy is, what was it? It just left my brain.
Oh God, what is it?
Oh, what was it?
Was it the sneaking of the bats? No, what is it?
Oh my God. That's
insane.
That part of this movie is unhinged. It's unhinged when they like get the giant net and they're like, oh my God.
They're playing Billy Joel as they're trying to catch bats.
They're running around with the bats and then they put them all.
And they keep throwing the bag on the ground and you just hear the bats get angry.
He's laying out, he uses like the big, doesn't he use like the Toblerone or something to crawl up and then lays on top of it?
Yeah, just got to make sure they can't get out. And then it goes to like a fucked up scene where the mayor is banging a secretary. Banging a secretary on the desk and the bats go down there. Oh my God, totally unhinged. This movie is unhinged.
Like the things that happen in this week is just, every day is like more unhinged than the day before. And then they finally get to the wedding.
Oh my gosh.
And I also love, I think in both movies, Howie and Kenny, they both they just gaslight everybody around them constantly. They're just like, no, it's fine. Like, or when the family all gets there and they're like, yeah, we can't wait to go to Manhattan. He's like, oh, that's like an hour and a half to 3 hours, depending on traffic. You're not going to make it. Like,
you're not going to make it. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So unhinged, this movie. Oh.
Shane has some comments.
Shane. I'm guessing there was more improv. Could be the name of every Adam Sandler's biography. Yes. Yeah. I agree. She carried you in your room for 9 months. People buy flowers. Yes, that's from Collateral. Unhinged mentioned. Somewhere Russell Crowe smiling. Oh my God. Sarah, check out Unhinged if you haven't seen Unhinged. Okay. Wonderful motion picture. Wonderful picture. A few more notes. I loved his Howie speech at the end of the wedding when everything's falling apart. I'm so fucked up. I wanted to be a dad and I should have given it. I'm like, yes, this is perfect. And I started crying at the scene because he's giving it his all, and I completely understand where he's coming from. Because there's a certain, like, I don't know if you've ever done it. I've certainly done it where it's like if you're doing an event and it's all on your shoulders and you know you could do it, so you keep putting it on you. But like you could hand it off, but it's like you don't want to because you're like, no, it's my job. I've dealt with that. So I could feel where he's coming from. I've dealt with that. That is me. Chris Rock mistaking I already said that. The two passerbys at the wedding. Yep.
Love that.
And then I love Adam Sandler as the grandmother on VHS.
Yep.
Didn't need to be there, but it's there. Yep. And I love it.
And also, if you remember, her picture is in the presidential governor
Thomas Jefferson executive suite. And I love it's just a regular hotel room. It's not a suite at all.
And the chandelier, you like
he just pulls to pull and it lands on his fucking head. Oh my God. Like it's so like crazy. The whole movie is insane.
So much slapstick comedy. Oh, and then the other character that I just cracks me up to no end. I love the dynamic of the bridesmaids. I love the best friend from childhood versus the college best friends. Oh, like first of all, the best friend from high school, I feel like is somebody you could copy and paste from where we grew up. Like it just reminded me so much of so many. I don't know, not one person specifically, but if you just like put all the traits
conglomerate,
together,
yes.
And like I love like just love the power plays she has. Like, I've seen her in the dress. You're gonna have a seizure when you see her. Like, I've seen, like, she has to have like this level of importance, you know. And then she ends up hooking up with Steve Buscemi at the end.
Oh my god, that was so great. I'm like, I love that. Where he's like you touched your uncle's ass. You're nasty, and then they just start making out.
So it's just that important. Then it just like those micro dynamics, those micro group dynamics are they just crack me up so much, because like you have like the two college friends who are like goody two shoes, probably good students, right? Mm-hmm. And then the one girl ends up like hooking up with the old love interest, Adam Sandler's nephew.
Yes.
And he goes, when he runs into the room and rips down all of her pictures.
That cracked up. Give me 30 seconds. I got to clear out my room, and they're just all pictures of her.
Yes. And then like throughout the thing where she's like, we're gonna do this entrance, right? And they're like, that's so funny because it's ironic, and she's like,
so cliche,
face, like. And then
the dry ice. Oh my god,
they're doing the dance, and then the big trash can is of water is just sloshing everywhere. They keep hitting it. It just,
Sarah, I fucking died when they knock over that water. Like, you know, it's so funny, Sarah. I was dying laughing when they knocked over the bucket. And when I was like lying because I'm on the couch cracking up, dying, I look up and I see there's a fire started, and I start cracking up even more. And then I crack up even more because all those big giant duty-free bottles fall over, and it just lights up the room even more. And I'm like, this is so funny because it all just started with that stupid little bucket in the middle of the floor, and I got knocked over. I was like, holy shit, this is hilarious. And not only that, but like the guy who's always smiling and laughing was like hugging the bucket at some point. Holy shit. Oh, and that cracked me up too, how they want to have like a private conversation. They're like, Uncle Max or whoever uncle is going to pass out. He says, oh my God. So good.
Oh, it's just a joyful. I was watching it, you know, it's one of those movies I sometimes forget about, but then I was watching it last night and I was kind of in a grumpy mood, and I just started watching it, and it was just instant joy because it's just light and funny. And there's something about movies that have those big family dynamics, like big family conflict, but they make it light, that just is so enjoyable to me. So yeah, I'm really happy I got to share that movie with you. And there's like two movies when I have my bachelorette party, I'm going to force all of my bridesmaids to watch, and this is one of them.
Oh my God. I could totally see you doing that. Oh my gosh. It's this movie. Is your party going to have all the dicks everywhere like in this one? Because that cracked me up with all the
there was so many. I've never seen so many Spencer's gifts in one room.
It just cracked me up because like there's a dick for everything. Like the little whistle she has, the gummies, the cupcakes, the brownies, the decorations, the erasers, the pen, the hat.
And you can tell it's like 100% the hometown best friends living her fantasy, because this is definitely not the main character's like vibe.
Yeah, this is totally that girl. That's her, like how she wants to have her. Right? Oh my God. And it just cracks me up because like everything he set up, Adam Sandler, I feel like he set up because he could get a deal on it, especially with the trampoline house.
Yep.
Because he probably built that trampoline building, for sure, and he could probably get a discount there, and like he knows a few girls who can jump.
Also, like, I do have to say, that's a pretty badass bachelor party. Like, that's way more fun than like a strip, like getting a trampoline and like a foam pit. Like, come on, wouldn't you want that as a bachelor party? It's pretty epic.
That had me dying, sir, with the part when they throw him in.
No, they throw Seymour in?
One of the cutaways, because they're like, oh my God, where is he? The cutaways, they show Chris Rock like macking with like 3 strippers, and in the corner, Steve Buscemi with his phone recording them.
Filming it, and then he's watching it later.
Yes. Oh my God, it's so hilarious. He says, oh my God, you took all the strippers away. Immediately gets his phone out and starts recording them. Holy shit, that is hilarious. Oh my God, and like, oh yeah, I got a great deal with the alcohol, and he just pulls out all these duty-free bottles.
And the
Toblerone. I only ate a little bit.
I ate 1/50 of it. God.
Oh, this movie's insane, Sarah. Insane.
It's joyful. It brings love.
Oh my God. And before we leave, I got to mention one of maybe I'll probably throw in as my favorite part because there's so many things about this movie. I'll throw in as my favorite. But when they're at the funeral and they all have the strips on their nose so that no one can hear them snore, and then you look across the room and all the guys have them on and they're all sleeping
And they all
during
have
this funeral.
on because
And they
they're
all
all
have
hungover from the bachelor party the day before.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Seymour. Oh, Seymour.
Oh.
When Seymour died, I lost it.
And they already have a funeral for him. They're ready to go.
I know.
Again. Oh, that's right. The mayor probably paid for it. That's right.
Yep.
Because
and that was like what he did in exchange, which is why they couldn't have the wedding at the town hall.
Oh my gosh. And then their batshit, I guess, batshit crazy idea to release bats in there. Like, how can we just damage City Hall?
I just love that shot where it's like the wide shot and they're just the giant net and they're just running around with it trying
This is
to
crazy. Crazy, Sarah. So what's your favorite scene?
It's like so hard to pick one. There's so many that are just so good. Okay. What's my favorite? Okay, it's like a tie between like the bachelor party scene where Seymour died. Like when I watched the first time, I legitimately like was crying. I was laughing so hard when they throw him into the foam pit, they lose him, and then they're just like, oh, he has diabetes, and everybody just looks at, oh, that's the other part. Really quick, I remember what I was gonna say. The other part of this movie that I love so much is like that like Adam Sandler, Kenny's character takes on everything, but also like everybody like just accepts that. Okay, this is actually my favorite part.
Hang on.
Because I was a caregiver to my grandma, and I had a lot of potty incidents in those 2.5 years I cared for her that reminded me so much of every time Seymour had to go to the bathroom. And then they're like, Seymour, Uncle Seymour, Kenny's leaving. Do you have to can you just try going to the bathroom? And Kenny's just like, I'm not dealing with it, and leaves. And then there's the scene where his brother is literally running behind the car and he's like, Kenny, Seymour has to go. So like there's 20 people in this house and nobody can take this man to the bathroom other than Kenny. It's too like, it made me giggle so much because of my experience, like having to deal with my grandma's potty issues.
Yes.
So I think just that scene where he's
running down the street.
So good. So I mean, every scene in this movie is gold. I'll just pick that one right now because I love the feeling that gave me of like so much validation of like having to caregive.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Frank? What was your favorite?
Oh, I did. I said oh God, what did I say? Oh, damn it, Sarah, I said it. Oh God, what was it?
Which one?
I know. I literally said
Toblerone.
I guess I'll go with this because I think I already mentioned it. Like it was my favorite scene, and I handed it off to you, but I've already forgot what it was. I forgot what it was. I guess I'll throw in another one. I think one of my like the best scene that like won me over because I'm like, oh my God, this is like it's touching the realm of Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, like the old school Adam Sandler, is the fucking baseball game. That whole thing from the suit situation when they mistake the uncle as the World War II veteran. No one pays for anything. And then the kid crying and not explaining why he's crying until the dad figures it out. He says, oh shit, we gotta go to the game, everybody. And he does his Adam Sandler voice. And it's not just Adam Sandler and him go to the game. He brings the entire family to the game. And then everyone is in on it. Where they're like, oh, who's that kid out there? Who's the kid? Who's Isaac? Who's Isaac? And they're like, oh, it's the World War II veteran. And they're like, Isaac. And then the girl on his own team is like, your name's Isaac? Yeah. Like he goes out there and he's crying his eyes out. And everyone is like overemphasizing Isaac. And the father knows, like, oh God, the kid doesn't like baseball. I got to go calm him down. And then he gets on base and then horribly hurts that kid because the kid's like, oh, on the ground, and just cracked me up because it just reminded me of that weird ass scene from Billy Madison where the clown gets hit in the head.
Yep.
And like he gets knocked down. And meanwhile, the whole scene's funny, but like this clown has probably got a concussion and dying on the pool grounds because he's got like blood coming out of his head. It reminded me of that because the kid's like, oh, I'm hurt. And it's like real. And then he's like, hang on, kid. Oh my God, thank you for your service.
Yes.
Crack me the fuck up. That whole baseball scene. Crazy. And they're all wearing their fucking tux. They didn't take them off.
And the one cousin just has a tux on with no shirt under it. Like, he's
yes.
really
and I think the other one doesn't have sleeves because they didn't measure the sleeves on it. Oh my God.
Also, I love that scene because I played softball in high school when there was like a period where I thought that I could be sporty because that was the cool thing to do. I am not a sporty person.
You are so sporty.
I am not sporty. I am not coordinated. And I remember like I played basketball for a hot second. Almost my first basket was legitimately almost in the wrong basket. And it was the only basket I think I ever made. And I just remember playing softball and really wanting to be good at softball, but every time I went to bat, like I could not figure out what was a strike and what wasn't, and just like wanting to cry. And I just really resonated with Isaac in that moment. It's just like I don't want to be hitting it's too much stress. It's too much stress.
Oh God, I didn't like baseball in school. Ugh.
No.
In gym class, no. Let's back out of this memory. Let's get out of this memory. Let's pull out of here. Okay, so how many roses? How many roses?
This is a 3 for me.
A 3 for you?
I really love this movie.
Yes. Okay. For me, just because like it was shot weird, although it's funny, but it's shot weird. And there's no music. So I have to give it like, I don't want to be too bad out of it, but like it's still good though. I'm gonna have to give it like a half.
Okay.
Just because I enjoyed it, I liked it, but like it's so fucking weird that there's no music.
They didn't have budget for it.
And it's so weird that it looks like they filmed it over a weekend. But like everything else is great. I love the actors. I love all the fucking weird scenes. It really does. I think this is the closest I've seen of latter day, like current day Adam Sandler movies that almost reach back to the early days. Like this is pretty damn close. Like the only thing that's missing in this movie is like Norm Macdonald, but I'm pretty sure he was probably sickly at the time in 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
But like that's like the only thing that's missing in this movie is like a Norm Macdonald cameo. Like that's it. If there was Norm, I'd probably give this a 2. I'd give it a half right now. But yeah. So that's so we did our scenes, Rosenbaum's. Okay, Sarah. What should we do for the next episode? I kind of had an idea, and I want to
let's hear it. Let's
pitch an idea. How about we suggest movies we've always wanted to see but haven't seen yet?
Okay.
I don't have mine picked yet, but that was my pitch.
I like it. Let's do it.
Okay, so do you have a movie that you haven't seen?
Have one. That's what I'm gonna need to think of because I'm gonna need to like go through my list and be like, what movie?
Yes.
Do you have any? Okay, are there any like suggestions? You had so many movies where you've been like, you need to watch this, like Unhinged, all right? Like, what movies like would be good ones that I haven't seen that are classics? Because I guess that's the movie you pick, right? Or is it the movie that I haven't seen that I've always wanted to see?
It's a movie that you haven't seen, but you've always wanted to see.
Okay.
Like mine was going to be Holdovers, but I just finally watched it yesterday.
Okay.
That's where I got the idea from. I'm like, that should be the episode where we come up with movies that we've always wanted to see but haven't seen yet. So it makes us watch it finally.
Yeah, so it's like I did that a couple years ago. I never watched Lord of the Rings trilogy. It took us like 4 weeks because I kept falling asleep, but we finished it.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's where I got the idea from because I'm like, that would be a great idea because it would be a blind pick for us because we haven't seen it yet and we don't know. And it would be fun to see if there's any connections because there's a crazy amount of connections with these Adam Sandler movies. So I'm wondering if we were to do another one, how many crossovers would they be?
Let's do it. But I think I'm gonna need like some time.
Yeah, we'll need time. We'll need time.
Okay.
Yes. We'll do that.
Love it.
Yes.
This was a good episode.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Yes. I think there's way more connections than I think we anticipated with both.
Well, it's like with Adam Sandler, like most Adam Sandler movies have like they follow a theme, like.
But it's like crazy though. There's like Billy Joel in both movies, and then both lying on the phone. Legitimately lying on the phone. I
know, my favorite, but like in the week of the wife calls him, so it's revealed that he's fake.
Oh my gosh. And then what was the other thing? Oh, like the one where he's like, he has his emotional speech at the end where he's like, I fucked up. And he did in both movies. Oh my gosh. Crazy. But yes. So I think this is a good episode.
Yeah, so good.
It's a good episode. So that's the theme for next month. We'll figure out the movies. Hopefully I can advertise, because you know what's so funny, this week is like been my birthday week, and I've been like, oh, you know, I'll advertise. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot to advertise.
I was like, and I was also like, I think it's this Sunday, but Frank hasn't posted anything yet, so maybe it's not this Sunday.
Because like I think the reason why I forgot about it is because I made this design like 2 weeks ago, the background and the thumbnail. So what if I make it too far ahead? I think that's what makes me slip my mind. So I was like, oh shit, I forgot to advertise this week. Oh damn. And what do you call it? I'm still recovering from the birthday weekend, because I've been hearing people talk about the birthday weekend, and I've been so excited about the gifts I got and all that. That was great. Yeah, even Shane saying it. Happy week after your birthday.
Amazing.
But yeah, this was a great episode, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining our journey through the Sandlers.
Yes, and the next episode will be our 12th, so that means we have done this for a whole year.
What? That's
yes.
Crazy.
Yes, officially.
Actually, the first movie I picked for the show was a movie that I'd never seen and always wanted to see, so it's like a great homecoming. I'd never seen The Great Lebowski, and I'm like, let's do that one.
Oh, that's right. You picked the Big Lebowski for the first, and then I picked. Wow. Oh, wow. That's amazing. That worked. Oh, wow. That's great.
So many movies.
I like that theme. So I'll advertise it hopefully earlier. Maybe I'll just like post a poster like Sarah and I picked this, and then
perfect.
Oh, and then we'll work out the dates and everything. But yes, great episode, Sarah. Thank you everyone for watching. Shane, Rebecca, Whitney, Luke, and Jessica. Thank you for showing up tonight.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you. And see you next month, guys.